everybody. Hello.
Welcome to Not In Our Will. I'm Danny.
And I'm Steph.
I'm Phill.
Woo!
I'm sorry if I ruined your intro.
No, not at all.
Yes, we have a guest today, which is super exciting.
Absolutely do. My lovely friend Phill is here.
Phill.
Yay!
Oh, thank you.
We're super pumped to have him here. And, you know, we are both part of the podcast community now. Phill and I have known each other literally.
We sat on the blue line together in kindergarten.
We did. It's been years. It's been years. I've known this guy longer than most of the people in my life, so I'm super pumped to have him here. We're going to chat about everything Phill today and everything about his podcast and his bands and, you know, some stories. And we're just, we're pumped to have him
Shoot
here.
the shit.
So, Phill, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. This is
Of
great.
course.
So I'll explain a little bit about myself. I host a show called Bandecdotes where I bring everybody from the music scene, from musicians, photographers, promoters, get them on the show, get them to promote whatever they have, showcase whatever they're doing, whether it's their photography or their band, and then just get them to tell some of the wildest stories they have from like being around band culture because. Bands spend a lot of time together. They're like essentially families,
They are,
right?
yeah.
And they have those moments, those inside jokes. And that's where Bandecdotes, that's where we air it all out and talk all the nonsense that goes on there.
Awesome.
So that's youtube.com/Bandecdotes. That's
Give
where
him a
we're
follow.
at.
Give him a follow.
We'll link everything
Absolutely
for you guys
everything,
to check him out
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, and you've been doing the podcast for like over a year now, right?
Been doing a podcast for over a year now. We started off just audio based, so like I started in last year. I was just transitioning from my job from Rock Universe to the Window Company, and you know what? I've always loved podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I thought to myself, I always wanted to help the Niagara music community in some way, shape, or form, and. Putting on shows is fun, and playing in bands and stuff is certainly okay, but it didn't feel like it was enough. So, I just kind of came to this conclusion where, I think I'm going to try this podcast thing out. I know a lot of friends in bands in Ontario, right, just from playing with them, and, some people were like, do you think you're going to corner yourself just because you're like, I'm just focusing on the Ontario scene?
Yeah.
And it turns out since I've been doing it for a year, we're on a new cycle of new bands already.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
I
So,
think that honestly, with your podcast, it was brilliant.
Thank you.
I truly think it's brilliant. It's something that Danny and I have struggled with the podcast, trying to find exactly what we're going to talk about without
the niche.
The niche, right? But you hit that niche like right on the fucking head.
Thank you.
Right away.
Right
away. So
that.
kudos, man. Kudos. So do you have any like crazy stories like from bands like?
Oh yeah, we got a lot.
I'm sure you do.
How much time do we have?
We got lots of cool stories. One I just had recently. I had Casey Baker. He played in Casey Baker, the Buffalo Sinners, but he also played in Sleeper Set Sail. So which was like an iconic Niagara band from around here. And he's playing music now under Casey Baker, Neon Cowboy. So him and his old bandmate came on the show, which was super cool. I was so glad to have them on. And they were reminiscing about the old school days, like during like the 2000, I'd say like 2006 era of like the emo rise, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what they were. They were playing emo. So they ended up they were in New York, and New York City, and they were looking for the place, and. The address that they had was like a weird number. Like, they were looking down and it was like 14 and maybe theirs was 15 and it jumped to like 16. And they were like, where is this? So they did another lap, which in New York City is like an hour.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So they go around back the block and they're pulling up and they can't find it anywhere. So they just park out front and they're just like pondering. And then some guy kind of lifts a thing out from like the sidewalk. And goes like, hey, you guys here for the show? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, yeah, come on down. And it's just like this.
Where?
It's just like this like latch. So it brought him into this like bachelor apartment that someone lives in underneath the sidewalk on New York City. Just kind of just goes to show you how bad the housing crisis is there.
Literally.
And they played a show, and I always thought that was funny. I was like, dude, you guys played with the fucking Ninja Turtles. Can you swear on that?
Oh yeah,
Okay, I
fucking
wasn't sure if I could swear. So yeah, they were really good with yeah, they had some funny stories. I also had this one's a pretty good one too. A buddy of mine, he plays in a band called Life of Vacuum, and he had the opportunity to go out to play somewhere in, I think, Copenhagen, actually, in Europe.
Wow.
It was somewhere in Europe. I want to say it was Copenhagen, but I can't totally remember. So they were at this cool festival, and like where they were staying for the night was kind of like this hostel that was part of like the festival. So like people were kind of coming in and out, and they stayed up all night partying and drinking with their homies, and then they went to bed at like whatever, so let's say 6, and then about like an hour and a half later, they're waking up and some guy's yelling at them. And I don't know what they speak in Copenhagen, but he's not speaking English. He's yelling at him, and he seems to be really upset. And like, I mean, they drank and stuff, but they weren't like doing anything anything out of the ordinary. Yeah. And so they ended up. I think they had like a tour manager with them, and they ended up waking up being like, "This guy's mad at us. Like, we don't really know
what's happening?"
So he translated to them, and he goes like, "Someone shit in the other room."
No. Classic situation.
And classic situation. And then so there's only 3 guys in the band, and they're like, "Well, I didn't do it." And they're like, "I didn't." So like, who did it? So for like the rest of that tour, they're like,
"Who shit?
Who did it?" Like, who did it? And to this day, they still don't know who did it.
Maybe it was just a random.
None of them did it.
Like, it was just a random.
That's what they think that someone did, but they were up late partying for so long that like it had to have been in that hour where they were asleep, and like it was.
I mean, I've been there. But...
well, we've all been in Copenhagen
and corners, you know.
That's too funny.
Oh my god, I love it. That is amazing. So when you started your podcast, like, I know for Danny and I, there's bumps in the roads. We don't know what we're fucking doing.
Still don't.
Yeah. Phill helped us out a lot today, so to be completely honest. But did you find you had a lot of...
Like, were there challenges for yourself?
Yeah, almost immediately. Being, I mean, like, we'll talk about it later, but I play in bands, and I'm the vocalist, right? Mm-hmm. And if anyone knows about the vocalist, you know, we don't know anything about gear. Like, we're like, you know, anything.
There to sing. Do it,
Yeah, you give me the mic, you plug it in, and we're good. Right? Yeah. And, like, sometimes that could be a challenge, right? No. So when we first started, I did have a lot of help from my drummer in Hellbent. He is a producer. Shout outs to Nick Ginn. He produces out of Schoolhouse Studios out in Dundas. So it wasn't uncommon for me to like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, what program should I be using? What technology should I be using? And still, we're even like, because we started off as the audio podcast, and now we're onto the video. I'm still running into problems.
Yeah.
Like, there's sometimes, like, even like the last week's episode that I just posted, I had some issues where the video just wasn't syncing. Yeah. I don't know what was happening. Couldn't for the life of me to get it to sync with the audio, so I just couldn't put out any video. So, you know, there are these like peaks and valleys, and there's some stuff like, you know, I have posted late, which sucks too. I don't want to do that.
Literally last week,
you know,
the queens of that.
So like, you know, there's these things, but you eventually find yourself getting into a routine of things.
Yeah.
And I'm certainly like a person of like who needs a routine in his life, and it's, I've worked something out where like, I just finished editing like this week's episode just before I came over here, just so that it's already ready.
Yeah.
I normally bank like 3 or 4 episodes in the pocket because I have had some issues.
Tried that? Speaking of which, I think we're good, but there we go.
We're good. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we've tried that. I feel like with us, when we first started it, we were like gung ho,
we're like,
right? Like we were like,
we said it. It was said once, and then we're like, okay, and we went and bought mics right away. Like we didn't like have to. It was impulsive. But
and then we recorded 4 episodes in one day, and we ended up not using 2 of them because we were like,
3 of them, I think.
We didn't like the content. We were just like, well, you could tell we got tired by the end of it. Sure. You know what I mean? And our content was just not what we wanted.
So then, ever since then, we've been behind.
Now we're behind. We're like, what you get is what you get this week, and you know
that's it. But it's challenging. It's fun and challenging. But then there's also the idea of when you're putting out a podcast, you want engagement, you want views, you want people to comment. And again, like that's really challenging too, because some people don't like what you're talking about. We've seen, like, we barely get comments, and 2 of them have been
negative.
3 or 4 of them already have been negative because we talk about somewhat, maybe controversial stuff.
But
so like that's just an added thing that you have to worry about people and what they care about and what, which I hate.
I think if you're getting negative comments, though, you're doing
something right. I
think you're doing something right.
That's what I've said to Danny, too. I was like, we need to talk about these things. Even if we get haters.
Yeah.
It's going to happen, right?
People are still watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
they still watched it.
Yeah.
So fuck. Hey, if you don't like it, whatever, you still fucking watch it.
Yeah. Exactly. We got your view.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So do you have any, like, big things coming up with your podcast, like with
Bandecdotes?
Or?
We're constantly just like having, it seems like every guest that I keep getting moving forward is just like, they seem to be getting bigger and bigger, which isn't like, that's great and all, but I also want to keep it like, I also want to bring those like smaller bands on because I know how important it is to like make a band feel important.
Yeah.
When I've been in bands, I haven't ever been like really interviewed and such, so like to give that opportunity to some of those people, like it feels good.
Absolutely.
So most of the guests moving forward have always seemed like they're getting bigger. Getting more technology, figuring out the how to get the video and whatnot. It's still challenging. Is there really anything that I have prepared? I mean, we're doing some shows left, right, and center. Which is something that I've always kind of put on.
Yeah, it's true. Phill has always been a master of the Niagara music scene, that's for sure. You've been in it for a very long time, so...
I've been, since high school.
Yeah, literally,
And so, we're just taking it, like, similar to you guys, week by week. Yeah. If something falls into our lap and it's super cool, great. If I don't have anything for that next week, I'll hit up another band that I think is really cool and popping off, and then and we also do these. I've been these new music of the month episodes where I gather all the new tunes that have come out of Ontario for that month and just make like a Spotify playlist, just so like people can familiarize with themselves, because just bands are always constantly we're 20 songs a month from 20 different artists, and they're all pretty rad. So that's pretty much what I've been doing moving forward with the band.
Perfect. And what's the Spotify playlist called?
It's you can probably, I think it's
within
just
Bandecdotes.
Yeah, you should be able to find it in Bandecdotes, but if not, new music. So we just put out new music in April. So
okay.
In the last month.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we do them at the last Friday of the month.
Awesome. Yeah, we kind of do something similar.
Yeah.
Every artist that we feature, we've been making a playlist since we started. So, trying to...
It's a smart idea, honestly.
Yeah,
it's a great way, because a lot of time you feature somebody and you're like, well, where? How do I...
Yeah. How do I find it?
Where do I get help?
Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about your music, because I know you have 3 bands kind of on the go right now. Sinner,
How are you doing that?
Druid, and Hellbent is your biggest. So you are freaking
spinning a lot of plates.
Yeah.
Spinning a lot of plates.
Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. No. So Sinner started in 2013. So it's been we're getting up there. And we've been working hard with that. That's always just been kind of like a passion project. And I've been in, like we've been mentioning, I've been in and out of bands since high school. I played in a band called The Merchant. I played in The Last Play, all these other bands. So music has always been a passion of mine. Playing music and playing live music has always been something that I've always done. And then Hellbent came around because I just I had some members from another band that I had played in wanting to play more music.
Yeah.
So then he approached me and said, hey, I'd like you to be the vocalist. And, I think when I first approached him, I said, I am doing vocals for 2 different bands. I'm going to have to try and make them sound as different as possible. So if you do actually listen to the one project, you'll notice that it's, more, scarier sounding. And, the other one is more silly. Hellbent is definitely, Matt writes all the music, he books all the bands, he's kind of in charge of that band, and we keep it that way because I would lose my head if I was in charge of both. So my baby is Sinner. That's the one that I have worked on the most. Hellbent I still love, but I take the back seat on that one just so again, don't lose my head. And then we do Druid, which is a mutual friend of ours. Shout outs to Corey.
Corey Dobbin.
Corey Dobbin.
What up, buddy?
Watching shout outs. Yeah, he's been playing guitar all his life.
Yeah.
He stopped playing guitar for a long time. So like actually pretty much out of high school, he just like didn't play guitar and he got focused on working on a career.
He's killing it.
Yeah, he's doing really well for himself.
Yeah.
He's not in West Hill anymore.
That's for fucking sure. You got out, buddy. How do you do it?
So he's in Toronto now, and he's working really hard. And eventually, he found himself in a position where, like, he did have maybe not necessarily the time, but he definitely had the means to pick up a guitar again and start playing. And he really gravitated towards black metal. And he's like, I'm doing this like one-man black metal project, but like I think he even tried doing vocals and was like, I can't do this. And like him and I, like he's my buddy. He was at my wedding, like
way back.
He's an OG. So obviously, like I'm like, yeah, it's no sweat off my back for dude make vocals for this. So like that entire project is like I mean I think I even did vocals with this mic. You know what I mean? Like so everything is done throughout our projects. We just send it back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
I don't think that project will ever play live. If it does, that'll be cool. But like that's where it's at. That's where we're both at right now. Because again, he's focused on his career. He doesn't need to be working on it's just a passion project.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something fun for you guys to do that you both really enjoy doing. So okay, why not, right?
Yeah.
And I noticed that he just purchased a few really nice guitars.
Yeah, some again, kind of going back to like being a vocalist and not knowing exactly how cool gear is.
They looked nice.
They look really pretty.
Really fucking cool.
They look really pretty, and I bet they sound good.
Probably. I would assume so.
Yeah.
So like, what genre is like Sinner and Hellbent?
So Sinner, we kind of describe ourselves as like a blackened hardcore. Okay. Like it's like hardcore, but with like metal influence, but it's still kind of dark and scary.
Okay.
Hellbent. We've used we throw a lot of words. Shit punk is another.
I love it.
Yeah,
just
that's
like stoner core, just absolutely nonsense. Like it is a hardcore punk if you want to actually get down to the nitty gritty of it. But we don't take ourselves seriously. I don't take myself seriously. That's why I really enjoy playing with Hellbent live, is because like
more fun.
I'm silly, like I'm doing dances and stuff. I'm telling other people to do dances.
It's a whole different mood.
Yeah, and if you see Sinner, like it's a whole like I purposely do it. And maybe someone who's like someone as yourself who's done like the acting thing knows that like playing a character.
Yeah, you definitely play a character. Yeah, the Sinner for sure.
So like,
the whole makeup.
Yeah,
You guys did a Halloween show like a few years ago, right?
Yeah. We were doing like makeup and whatnot. Yeah. I let the hair in front of my face. I kind of do this thing where I just dead stare the crowd kind of thing, and like kind of just like
awesome.
like it's playing a different character. It's something I'm not, obviously, clearly I'm not. But like when I'm on stage, like you get like you play, you have fun with it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys with Hellbent just came out with a full-length record.
That's right, Primitive Hits, available now on all streaming platforms, Apple Music, Spotify. We just put out a new single called My Hits Don't Lie, where I do 100 bong tokes in 100 minutes.
There's a YouTube video, their music video. It's insane. You need to fucking watch it.
I just cannot.
So how did you feel after that?
You were dead.
Easily the most, like, obviously the most stoned I've ever been in my life. Did you just
take a fucking nap for like 17 days after that?
I did fall asleep pretty quickly after that. If I recall correctly, we went to like an Avondale, and I was like, Slurpee! Candy! And then like we went back to Nick's place, and I passed out pretty quickly. Yeah. But like, that was, as someone who's like an advocate of weed, that was kind of like a certain kind of hell. Like it was like the idea was on paper was
I think we're okay. We're good. Sorry, we're good.
On paper, the idea was do 100 bong tokes in 100 minutes. It's like the idea of like the Century Club that people like do shots. Yeah. People do 100 shots of beer in 100 minutes. Yeah. They get absolutely obliterated. Right. Tons of people have done it, and. I could do that, no problem. And then, like, Toke 14 comes around, and you're like, I don't know if I could do this, right? So, like, we set it up, one single shot, we had the clock sitting there.
That's what I was going to say. Like, did you cheat it?
No. Oh. I had buckets right beside me.
Yeah.
Because, like, if we were, because, like, we cut it up as fast as we can, but there's, like, obviously, like, an hour worth of footage of me just being like,
Oh.
coughing. And then like what was weird is like I would take the toke, I would cough, and like 30 seconds would go by, and then I'd be like, you guys, did you hear about the new movie? And they'd be like, time.
Go again.
I'm like, oh,
No.
fuck. So I'd have to go again. And like, honestly, I just wanted to sit out and like talk to them and like hang out. But they're like, go again. And like, yeah, no. Yeah, we did it all. And it sucked.
Are you packing them like crazy? Are you like...
At first, we were packing them pretty big. And then at like, it's like, yeah. And like, I'm taking, like, you can almost immediately tell that I'm not doing like full big
rips.
totes because like again I was doing them like doing them at first and then like again like
Pace yourself.
15 came around and I was like I don't know if I can do this.
I think
guys.
it's also the speed, you know, like the
Yeah,
fact that you
It was
had to
tough.
do it, like that would have
I had like a
I applaud you. So.
I feel like that's got to be a Guinness Book of World
Honestly, is
Records.
it?
I don't know.
We should probably find
I don't
out.
know. Did you know that Guinness World the Guinness World Book of Records is ran by the beer Guinness?
No.
What?
Yeah.
It's the same font, I guess.
Same thing.
Wow.
Shit.
It's because people were in bars and always asking like, who did the longest
this?
did?
Yeah.
I wonder who did the longest that. So they made this book so it
That's
was like
hilarious.
4 bars. I just learned that recently. So.
Wow.
Well, then that makes sense, right? that 100 bong tokes in 100 minutes is like
Yeah.
Guinness.
Yeah. It felt like an ab workout the next morning because I
Probably.
coughed so much.
Yeah.
Like it actually was like, ugh.
And you can do workout.
Had like this perfect like tray with like all the little 100
Yeah.
fucking.
Oh, you had it pre?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's all-
shit.
so there's
I'm
100
definitely gonna watch
Yeah.
this.
It is amazing.
And it
But-
wasn't strong. and it wasn't strong weed. We couldn't get like really strong weed.
No,
but we
yeah.
didn't get like bunk weed either. We got like like my like the basis of my and a couple. Actually, if you're watching the video, you'll notice that a couple times they take a couple hits because I do kind of go like
You're like,
this.
yeah.
So if we're being realistic, I probably took like maybe 85 tokes, and they probably did 15 of those within this
Still,
thing.
that is so.
That's a lot.
It was a lot of
That's
weed.
a lot of
fucking
That's literally like a fucking.
It was a lot.
Did you put it all together before you did? And you're like,
Just
this
like
is how
this-
much weed I'm about to
weigh it?
It was only about a quarter. No. No, it was about a half ounce. It was a half ounce.
within 100 minutes.
Yeah, it was gone. Yeah. Yeah, it
Oh
was
my
gone.
gosh.
Oh my god, it's amazing.
Just your poor lungs.
Yeah, they were rough. And then we
Felt
have
like you
a
had
video.
COVID.
Yeah. And then we have a video for a song called Buckley, which is about my dog.
Oh,
I wrote a song about my dog. Actually, this is my second song that I've written about my dog. The first song was written just about him, and then this song was written from the perspective of him.
oh, cute.
Yeah, so, and then, like, the music video is just a bunch of, like, cut videos of just puppies and stuff.
And
like,
this one is for
Hellbent.
Hellbent?
Yeah, this is all Hellbent.
Hellbent, okay.
Yeah, all the silly stuff is all
It's
Hellbent.
Hellbent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do songs about puppies. We have a song about saving the bees. We have it's like a
You
30
gotta
second.
save
I'm
the
gonna
bees.
I'm gonna ask you and your band to write a song about hairless cats.
Hairless cats. Yeah, we can do that.
It would be good,
Yeah, I'm taking that challenge right now.
There we
The
go.
next song I'm gonna write is gonna be about what's your cat's name?
Fox.
Fox. It might be about Fox because I only know 2 hairless cats, and Fox
Well,
is
you
one
could
of them.
do them. Yeah, you could do both. I mean,
They're
they
a real
smell like
cool
shit, so you can add that.
and like
They
she
smell, eh?
and they're really warm.
Right.
Yes, very warm to the touch.
Interesting.
Like
Yeah. And she
She's like
likes
a
to
ball
eat
sack.
her own tail now.
that's just a weird tick. I don't know.
That's not all of them.
It's just her. It's just her.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely write a song about hairless cat. I'll do that 100%. You heard it here first.
So you guys have any shows upcoming?
Yeah, we got a small tour coming up.
Awesome.
We're going out east.
Amazing.
Yeah, we're going out to Halifax with a really cool punk band from the 90s. They're called Dayglow Abortions. I know that's like a off. I don't know why they're called that. They've been around for a minute. I think they've actually been. Actually, I said the 90s. They formed in a band as the 1979. So they've been around for a while.
Wow.
We're gonna be sharing the van with them. That's gonna be
that's
super
a wicked
exciting.
Experience.
This will be Hellbent's 3rd time we've gone out east. It'll be my 4th time because I've gone out with Sinner. Last time I went out east was like my last show that I played, actually the last show I've ever played was March 1st, 2020. I haven't played a show
COVID,
since.
yeah.
Right before COVID.
Yeah, right before COVID. Like, we all heard talks about this thing. It was
shut
kind of funny at the time. Like,
Yeah, it's
we're
like, oh, it's coming this way.
what, do you think the world's going to shut down? And,
Sure enough.
yeah, little did we know, yeah. So we got shows coming up. I think it starts July 1st to July 10th. We end up out east, and our last show, we end up in Hamilton.
Perfect. There you go, folks. Hamilton.
I think that's a Monday.
That's fine.
Yeah, no, we
Make it out. Support your local bands.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
What's
So
your favorite thing about tour?
Favorite thing about tour is time doesn't really exist.
Love that.
You go,
Yeah,
you play the show,
Yeah.
and then you stay up till like 3 o'clock in the morning, but you don't know it's 3 because you're just riding this, like you're just hanging out with your buddies.
Yeah.
You're kind of on this vacation, but you're kind of doing things at the same time. You're always making memories. I always like trying, well, you always got to be careful, but like the food, you got to like try new food,
Cool.
but you always got to be
You
careful,
got- I
right?
mean,
You can't
yeah.
eat sketchy meat on the road.
Listen, we were just talking about this. Phil's like, you just went to Dominican, and I was like, yeah, man, but I have fucking diarrhea the entire week. So, yeah, I feel ya.
I'm
Careful with what you eat.
Yeah. So, but playing tourist is also fun too. Going to
Yeah.
a city and being like, do they have a museum here? And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Oh, we have a couple hours to kill, or they have a really cool park or something like that. Like there's, I think it's in St. John, New Brunswick. They have this magnetic hill. That's what that's called.
I've been on that.
It's not
It's not actually.
Yeah, it's not actually magnetic.
They name it as it is.
Yeah.
You're like, we're going to spend the money, but
It's like
not.
it's like a gimmick. I forget how it
is.
works, but you turn your car off and it like
But
still
you-
pulls
wait, hold
you.
on. You
It
pay
feels
money
like
for
you're
this?
going
No.
backwards.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought. Maybe,
Do you?
Maybe I did. Maybe I got scammed. I don't know.
Because there's one of that in Caledon.
Really?
Yeah.
A magnetic hill?
Yeah.
Do you pay money for it?
No. No.
Yeah.
See, yeah, this is a big thing out east. Like you go out east,
Really?
and they're like,
So
this is
it's like
our
a tour.
main
This is like people don't
attraction.
really know about it, but the
It's
locals
a main
know about
attraction, yeah. You
Yeah.
turn your
Wow.
car off and you feel like you're going a different way. Something
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
You're being pulled
Yeah,
down.
it's a total like optical illusion.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, things like that are like my favorite things to do
Yeah,
on
Which is
tour.
awesome, though.
Yeah, yeah. Or good old car sing-alongs if you get like the right tunes, because like you're doing these long drives, so you gotta queue up
So
like 3 or
occupied.
4 albums worth
True,
of music,
yeah.
right? And sometimes you just gotta sing some songs, and
Yeah,
that helps warm up
absolutely.
the throat. And
There you go.
yeah.
And out east is the best place to do that. Fucking out east is the best.
We haven't actually. We went a little out west, but I had just gotten married, so they got another guy at the time to do vocals for them. So I actually haven't gotten to go out west with any of the bands. But I love Halifax. It's such a beautiful city. I wish
Me
I could
too.
live there.
I've never
Yeah, I
been.
know.
Oh, it's so
Out east
gorgeous.
is anywhere out east. It's so funny. I as soon as I went out there, I was like, this is the best. Everybody's so fucking nice.
Yep.
Literally. So nice.
Like
It's
it's
amazing.
it's almost strange how nice they are. Like you come from places like this and you're like, what's your angle? Like,
Yeah,
and they're
where
just
you coming
genuinely being like
Yeah.
genuine
Wow.
people.
And it's funny because you hear that about it. Oh, everybody's so nice. Everybody's so nice. But it's actually legit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a fucking thing.
Yeah. You just when we went out there, not the last time, actually it may have been the last time, we popped a tire and we had to
no.
call CAA, and he was gonna patch it for us, but he was gonna charge us X amount of money because he had to tow the van to a certain place, and we just gave him a bunch of beer, and he was like, "Yeah, call it a day." Right? Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
Out east. Oh,
That's
that's
too
amazing. Yeah, so I mean, guys, check out Hellbent, check out Sinner, check out Druid, check out all of that shit. Honestly, Phil's an amazing guy. Everything he touches is gold. So check it out.
What was your favorite like artist growing up, or musician, or band, or
Ooh,
anything?
that's a great question. I love and still do, but they're a little controversial, and I understand why.
Okay.
A big band for me growing up was Brand New. I don't know if you're familiar with the band Brand New. I loved that band to bits, and of course, Metallica was a big influence growing up, and I'm a huge fan of an artist called Atmosphere.
Okay.
Oh, Atmosphere's amazing.
Atmosphere's amazing.
Love
I love Atmosphere.
Yeah.
So, like, if I were to do 3 artists, top 3, it would probably be those 3. But Brand New specifically, he was just so, Jesse Lacey was just so really good at was so poetic with his lyrics. And unfortunately, some news came out of him where
he sexually assaulted this.
Well, no, he was just jerking off on webcam.
Ah, okay.
He didn't sexually assault anyone. Like, if you're not asking if he's whipping it out, I actually don't remember the details of it. I don't know if it was
like
I don't know if it was consensual or if it wasn't.
Okay.
But he just whipped his dick out on the webcam, and that's how he was. They just put a record out, and then that news came out, and then they kind of did the slowly fade away.
Yeah.
So like I can't not say that band because they had such a big impact on me, but I do have to also acknowledge the bad side of that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, cancel culture too, right?
What about you folks? What were just some of your favorite bands growing up?
I feel like embarrassed.
No,
you can say yours.
I was an emo girl, so
Perfect. That was me.
I loved My Chemical Romance.
Loved it.
My favorite thing.
Are you gonna go see them?
Just brought a new song.
Yeah, are you gonna go see them in September?
I don't have the money for
Yeah,
that.
fair enough.
I don't have the money.
I bought
for
the
that.
tickets like 2 years ago,
Shut
right?
up. Oh,
I know.
I know. They were one of my favorite bands that I've ever went to see, and I love them.
Oh, you've seen them?
I've seen them
Oh,
before.
I haven't actually seen them.
I went. My brother and sister bought me tickets when I was a kid.
Sick.
And well, I guess in high school, whatever. Yeah. And we went, and I remember because at this time I was still like, I was getting into the music scene and like and my friends were just starting to start bands and stuff like that. And I was going to shows slowly, so I was starting to get in there. Never been in a mosh pit. Don't even really know what it was. But I remember very clearly my brother just standing here, just protecting me because we were on the floor. And he's just there like bouncing off the people. Yeah. And I'm just there like watching them in awe. And their show was incredible. And this is the thing that I love about My Chemical Romance is that they're so theatrical. Every album was It was a show.
Yeah.
It was a performance. So I went for the Black Parade.
Oh.
Yeah, I went for the Black Parade. It was great. And, like, just the fucking fire. They, like, came out in a hospital bed. They were all in their suit. It was
that's so cool.
It was incredible.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So they were my favorite growing up.
Yeah.
Now anything that I just is catchy that makes me want to dance is
perfect.
What I love. But I am a diehard screamo girl. I love it. I fucking love going to mosh pits. My favorite concert ever was A Day to Remember. Like I love that. Yeah.
Nice.
The Day to Remember August Burns Red. That was my.
She had the bangs and
Toronto.
everything.
It was in Toronto.
Was it? What did hold on. Give me 2 seconds here. Enter Shikari open.
That sounds very fucking familiar. Yeah. You at that concert? Yeah, shit. That's awesome. Yeah. I was fucking in that pit with all the fucking shirtless, sweaty guys, and I came out of there. I'm like 1, 2, counting all my bruises, like 14 fucking bruises, bitch. Yeah. I just owned that shit.
And they had like a shirt gun too, right? Like
I think so. Yeah.
I was at that show.
That's awesome. Yeah. So that was my shit. Like I loved that.
Mm-hmm.
I still they literally My Chemical Romance just put a song out like
brand new song
yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah. Is it good? Yeah.
I haven't listened to it because I need to be in the
cool.
zone.
It's cool.
I heard good things. I've heard like different things.
It's not like a catchy song. It's like certainly not going to be like I've only listened to it once and I was kind of like on in the background. But it's certainly different. It's very much like their last record, Danger Days.
Yeah. 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 Okay. Well.
What was one of your favorite bands in high school or growing up?
Well, growing up, like younger, when we were like 7, 8, grade 6, 7, 8, I was very into like punk, like Sex Pistols, Ramones. That's what I grew up with. So it just kind of, it wasn't a band bands I could have seen.
Right.
It was just, you know,
your
I love them.
Played.
Yeah, that's what my parents played. My dad is a massive hardcore punk fan, so.
Shout out to Papa Toe.
Yeah, Papa Toe.
It's like the Toe family, like I'm so familiar with the Toe family. I grew up with them. I know your brother.
Yeah.
Shout out to Devin. Shout out to Susan. Like,
Yeah,
come
yeah,
on.
like,
the whole family.
No, you guys have always been around, and and since we're talking music, how could we not mention that your brother played in a band?
Yes.
I just found this out, and I was
I showed her like the between breathing, the video, and, like with the bass, and like he had the long ass hair, and
I played a couple shows with them, and I still talk to Ryan, their vocalist, their drummer Coop. He's
fucking amazing.
He plays with My Son Hurricane.
Yeah,
he does like the bongos and shit.
Yeah, he's a fantastic musician. This guy.
So yeah, your brother was it was awesome to go to those shows and stuff, and shout outs to Between Breathing.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's so funny. Yeah, I just literally showed Danny this. I was like, my brother was in a metal hardcore band. She's like, no way. I was like, yeah way. Here's the video.
Yeah.
Like,
they managed to record with the dude from Periphery and like ended up with the dude on their like he had like a guest vocals on their track and like they managed to do some really cool stuff.
They did.
Do you remember? I couldn't remember where they went out to record. They went somewhere in the States.
I feel like yes, you're correct.
But I couldn't tell you where. But I know that they went somewhere really cool.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah, I feel like the worst sister right now. I have no idea.
I just learned
He's screaming at you.
Yeah, he's like, look, stop, why don't you
It was Memphis!
I feel like maybe Detroit. No. Buffalo. Could
Who knows?
Either way.
Devin knows.
Either way.
Devin, comment.
Yeah.
Comment down below.
So it's funny, Phill and I were actually looking at an old yearbook from back in the day. We have a couple high school ones. We also have one from like grade 6.
Yeah.
And I like pulled it out and I was like, bro, is this your fucking signature? And he's like, yes. It looks the exact same since grade 6. And might I add, Mr. Phill had the best mushroom cuts of life.
I did, yes, yeah. And I ripped that for a long time.
You did?
Yeah, like for like 5 years.
Yes.
And like...
By choice?
With pride.
With pride, yeah. They were always pristine.
Yeah.
Did your mom do it or did you go to a salon?
First choice haircutters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
They fucked up my hair a lot. So.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know, looking back, they weren't great at all.
No,
Yeah, you gotta
terrible.
go back.
Yeah.
You grow up and you're an adult and you're like, I don't know if I would ever bring that like my kids.
No way. Yeah, no.
I would try
Our
before
parents-
I would do
Our
that.
parents failed us.
those are the people who don't graduate hair school. Just an insider scoop.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's legit a thing. Just so you know.
That's a previous hairstyle.
Yeah, it's actually it's legit.
But we were also talking because we mentioned the mushroom cup that both Stephanie and I have had.
We both have had mushroom cuts.
Yes, mine was not by choice though.
Me neither.
Are you gonna be flashing the photos? Of,
Sure.
Should.
Why
of
not?
us?
You want?
Oh, yeah.
Mushroom
Oh, yeah.
cuts.
If
All the
you're watching on YouTube, here you go.
Boom, boom, boom. I mean, and my mom always said, she was like, it was cute back then.
That's
It
what my
must
mom
have
Trend.
been.
It must have been a trend.
We were
right?
trendy.
Yeah,
you don't even see kids with mushroom cuts nowadays. Right?
No, that is not true.
the
other day, I saw this kid just like mushroom cut, just chilling from like my kids had karate,
Taekwondo, like-
and he's into like gi, and it's just like this like teeny kid with the mushroom cut,
bangs
and I'm
are
just like creepily filming him, like yo,
I
that
got a Snapchat. She's like, yo, he looks like the fucking kid from Stranger Things.
yeah, he
That's
looks
funny.
Like Phill.
That's
So
funny.
it's still alive and well,
So-
apparently.
Fucking good.
Yeah.
And we were also talking about how Phill was in the boys cheerleading team.
Please, I need
That's
to hear
right.
more.
Oh, yes. Please do.
When in high school, I'm assuming.
No.
Why did you have a cheerleading team in elementary school?
So when you were in grade 3, Mr. Blanchet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So when we came when we went in grade 3, when we went to Edith Cavell school,
Shout
which
out.
was a 1 to 6 school.
Shout out.
We had a brand new teacher who went by the name Mr. Blanchet. I think we gave a shout out to Mr. Blanchet.
Yeah, fuck, he's not gonna watch.
I ran into him like I worked at Boathouse, so it was probably about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
But I ran into him like kind of recently. It was kind of nice. So we had this brand new teacher. He was full of jokes. This guy
he
was.
a good dude.
He did everything to try and entertain. There's a lot of stories I have just in general with Mr. Blanchet. I don't know if you. I'll tell you the guy after. I don't want to get. But there was a kid in class in Mr. Blanchet's class who was wearing a Top Gun hat, and of course in grade school you can't wear hats inside.
Yeah.
And he was wearing a Top Gun hat, and Mr. Blanchet was like, "You know what Top Gun's about?" And the kid was kind of like, "No."
No.
He's like, "It's about flying," and he threw it out the window.
Oh my god! How do you remember that, man?
It's just silly
Those
stories,
core
right?
memories, yeah.
That's so funny.
So he always wanted to he was like an out of the box thinker. Like he was always kind of pulling these pranks. He like a lot of people in the school always thought he was a good teacher. He was a good teacher. It was fun.
Great dude, yeah.
But he came up. He came across this like cheerleading competition that was held at Canada's Wonderland.
Yeah.
And it was mainly females were obviously in it, right? Yeah. From like high schools and stuff.
Yeah.
But there wasn't, I don't think there was an age limit to enter.
To enter, yeah.
So he was like,
fuck it.
We're going to round up these grade 3 kids.
Playing a prank on you.
Like boys. Grade 3 boys.
All boys.
All boys.
No, he
was just like, fuck the system.
He was just kind of like, this is hilarious.
Yeah, okay, that's what our initial thought is.
Which it absolutely was.
Oh, yeah. So then, we coordinated this.
You had a whole
literally
routine.
no girls.
We had a whole routine.
No girls.
No,
I was
not the first year.
I was salty about it.
Sure, yeah, I'm sure you were.
And then the next year we got to be in it, and then
it kind of became a thing. Because a lot of girls in the school were upset that they couldn't join the cheerleading screen.
I know, because we didn't have one before, right? And it was just like cheerleading.
This is grade school too. You don't even have a cheerleading screen, right? You're doing like volleyball and stuff, right?
Oh my god! Do you remember the songs? It was like
I do. It was a Beach Boys song.
Yes.
Oh, we'd have to dance, dance, dance.
Yes.
That's what it was. Dance, dance, dance by the Beach Boys.
We had fucking t-shirts and everything.
We had all matching t-shirts. And then I don't know if you remember this stuff, but we did like a music class when we were in grade school, and there was like, we went down in the basement and we did we were dancing or something like that.
Okay.
And I don't know why I did this, but I ripped my shirt off. I don't know if you remember this, and I swung it. I swung it around. And I don't know why I did that. I don't know why I did that. It was like Staying Alive was on or something, right?
You were just really feeling it.
I was some type of kid. and for whatever reason that like people were like, they always remembered that. And we added that into the routine. Like at the end there, I
ripped your shirt
took my shirt, and I was the only one who did that. I was the one. And
you were the star, baby, the star.
My dad, I don't think he has it on. He did film it, but all that VHS tape got like eaten up.
I know,
it's all
right?
gone. So there was footage out there somewhere, but yeah.
That's hilarious.
I feel like I kicked you in the shin at one point.
Yeah, maybe.
Grade school.
Yeah, I'm sure that happened.
I'm sorry.
No, you don't need to apologize. I was a piece of shit.
I feel like we were like tussling, and then it was just like, and then Kara's mom, she was like the lunch.
She was like a supervisor, like a
supervisor.
volunteer.
Yeah, and then she like came over and had to pull us apart because I kicked you in the shin.
I'm sure I had it coming.
I need to know, were you the stable man cheerleader, or were you being thrown up?
I was being thrown.
Nice.
I was the twig.
You a little willy-nilly. Woo!
Yeah. With the mushroom cut.
Yeah. The mushroom was flying.
Wow. Just a little.
Yeah. When they threw me up, the mushroom cut was like a parachute.
Brought him back down. Oh my fucking
God. And now that I'm recalling this memory, I'm pretty sure, now that I remember this, the reason why he put this cheerleading squad together was just because you got into Kinder's Wonderland for free. That's why. That's exactly why.
No, it totally is.
The best.
Yeah. So you did the cheerleading thing for like 2 hours of the day, and you had the
kids could just go.
That's what it was the year after too. Because it was just like, we're going to Kinder's Wonderland.
Yeah. Now that I'm remembering it, yeah.
Wow. Have you tried to find this teacher? I would try.
Mr. Blanchette, I ran into him, like I said, a couple years ago, and he was doing great. I have a picture. I'll send you the picture. We can flash the picture right here. He's doing great. I think I'm like, when I posted that photo of him, someone was like, yeah, he goes and he tries to surf at like Port Dalhousie. Shut
up.
So like he would. He was just that kind of guy.
So,
yeah, he was a really cool teacher. And I remember the following year, I think he did like a grade 4 something split, and like you had to be like one of the good kids if you made it into his class.
Yeah,
I did not.
Me neither. We only had it for 1 year.
Yeah.
And then we had the grade 5 teacher who like just had come in, remember? And we made her cry.
Miss Campbell.
Miss Campbell. She had the
Your
fucking
memory
hedgehog.
is insane.
No, I know.
Insane.
It's typically not that good, but like I
you know what?
These were all the years where I didn't smoke weed. That's
is that why?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't remember freaking anything.
Well, we had Miss Velkers for half the year.
She retired.
She retired, and she was. I'm pretty sure she was a lesbian.
100%.
Okay. Needed that.
100%.
But she was great. She was the music teacher, and she would
she was cool.
she was just wacky, and she would
sing. She was basically like a Miss Frizzle.
Yeah, that's a great. Yeah. She was Miss Frizzle, but she would always sing songs.
A little bit more hard, I would say.
Yeah.
She was very like, but then we had Miss Campbell, and she had no fucking idea what she was doing. First year.
Do you remember how old she was?
Like 20?
23.
23. Yep.
You know why I remember that? Because the Blink-182 song, she was like, "This is my song."
Yeah, she would put it on and be like, "Do you guys know the words to this song?" And we'd be like,
"Nobody likes you when you're 23. That's me." And like when you're that age, you don't think anything of 23, but like you grow up, you're like, "How the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
Who
How
put that in charge?"
Yeah.
God,
fucking
I feel so bad for her. We were mean.
We made her cry
several times.
She would run out of the office to the fucking like
principals
and the principal.
To her, I don't understand.
You're just bad, I guess.
Yelling, not like when she's
not
trying to.
I was a kiss ass. Sorry.
I feel like I was a kiss ass too. I probably at one point was like, "Stop making her cry."
Maybe. It was more of like a collective thing. Like it wasn't like one person in particular.
No,
it was like
she
just couldn't get like the class's attention. Like she'd like talk and like everyone would just start talking and she would just be like,
first year of teaching you?
Yes. It was her very
first year.
Yeah,
I actually saw her act not too long ago. Well, 10 years ago.
Did you apologize?
No. Sorry, Miss Campbell. But I cut her daughter's hair at Young Heads. Cool. She came in, she had a daughter, and I was like, oh my god, she recognized me, and I was like, holy fuck, Miss Campbell. She said her first name, I don't fucking remember it now, but I was like, how you doing? She's like, oh, I'm still teaching. I was like, oh, thank God. Thank God. Like, we didn't ruin it for you.
Thank God.
Jesus.
Young Heads. Is that in the same plaza as like the Little Caesars there?
Yeah, you used to work at the fucking
Oh yeah.
I remember. I feel like you worked at the Little Caesars when I was working at Young Heads.
Yeah, it was very likely. I was
I was like
2009.
Yep.
Yeah, I would have worked there. It was like one of my first jobs. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, like we smoked weed in the fucking walk-in freezer. Sorry, Little Caesars.
$5
Yeah, no, good times.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so funny. Fuck, man. And then we went to the same middle school. We went to Westdale. Whatever, Westdale. We don't really have many stories from Westdale.
No, not too many Westdale stories.
We were only there for 2 years. So
yeah.
It's like, whatever.
It seems like such an odd thing. Odd. Like to do the grade 6 and then the 2 years.
The 2 years. It was weird because then like you just join this school where these people have already gone to school for like they've gone to school with these kids already for 6 years and they're on their way to grade 7 and then they just get this like troop of other kids who just are from other schools. It's weird, but
yeah. And then we went to Westbrook, which is no longer a fucking high school.
We don't have a high school anymore.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Why?
It's no longer existent.
They
got rid of it? Too small. Like when we were in high school, I think there was maybe 500 kids total within the whole.
Yeah, the building was big, but the student body was small.
Yeah, so we weren't using the rooms.
There were several hallways that just didn't get used.
They were just like vacant.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird.
And we were in TV Arts together.
We were.
I just reminded you that we went to Much on Demand.
We did go to Much on Demand.
And I smoked weed in a park, and I'm pretty sure I saw someone graffiti a Q band, but like I don't know.
I challenged him on it.
Yeah. She and I don't blame her too.
Like smoked the joint, looked down. You know, had seen the van, had nothing on it, looked up after the joint, it was graffiti.
I said he probably just walked around the van.
I just probably didn't notice that the graffiti was there.
Yeah, maybe.
You know? I was just probably Mr. Sub or something.
Yeah. Maybe there was a van in front of it and then it drove off.
It's the same voice, yeah.
Yeah.
Strong possibilities.
That's fucking true.
Yeah. Good times.
Jesus. And like, I know you're a massive fan of The Simpsons.
Yep. Yeah. Huge fan of Simpsons. I have a room in my house. It's the guest room in my house, but I have all this collectible Simpsons stuff.
Really?
I have all these action figures. I have like Legos.
I have all up on the walls. Like it's fucking dope.
Yeah. It's image here.
Yeah. Do you have a picture of it? You know how they have the new? I don't know if you've seen it, but you can get like you and your wife as Simpson characters.
Yes, that's right.
Have you done that?
I haven't yet. No.
What the hell?
I know I haven't.
You should.
Wifey.
Yeah, great gift idea.
I'll have to look into that.
Yeah. You can add it to your room.
Yeah, that would be cool. Because like I know different people do it on like Fiverr and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just gotta find the right person.
So we were kind of talking about this earlier, but like the Simpsons have made some crazy predictions.
Yeah.
And they've come true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, like...
What's your theory?
Yeah, like, why do you think this is
Time
happening?
traveler?
So obviously, people are quick to say, like, Matt Groening is a time traveler.
Yeah.
Do I think he's a time traveler? No. How scary are these coincidences? They're pretty scary.
They are fucking scary. We've talked about having an episode on this specific thing.
On this topic specifically.
I can't think of any right now that are coming
like the Trump presidency was one.
Right.
That's
right.
Predicted that.
Yeah, because when Lisa is president, she's like, she says President Trump.
Yes, yeah. And then there was, in 1995, the Lisa's wedding, there was, like, the FaceTime and smartwatch.
Yeah, that was...
Like, Marge, like, beeps in, and, like, that was not a thing.
Yeah, that was still... no, that wasn't the same episode. Yeah. I know what you're talking about, though. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's one moment where Homer writes something on a chalkboard, and it turns out to be like some sort of
math equation.
Math equation that they've been trying to like solve for fucking No, I don't really understand what's going on there. I have a hard time believing that Matt Groening is time traveling. I don't know. Do you believe in time travel?
I wish.
My ex is super into like all this shit. Like he's, but I just can't wrap my head around that being an idea. But then again, I'm like I believe in spirits and I believe in this, and I'm very open-minded.
Very astrological, sun, and moon, the stars. Yeah.
Everything.
Anything's a possibility.
Sure. Right. Like the knowledge thing. What do we know, right? Yeah.
You don't fucking know anything
absolutely.
At this point, yeah.
Now I do, like, if we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of time travel, I do think that there's some way, shape, or form that you could go forward. I don't think you could go back.
Yeah, it'd be really hard, because, I
don't think you could go back.
I feel like your mind would just scramble.
Because, because it's already happened. Things have already happened. I've listened to a couple podcasts about this, and the main reason why you can't go back in the past is because it's already happened. It's already
not
happened.
Possible.
It's just like...
It's done.
Yeah.
That page is turned.
Yeah. And if you were to go back, you already have that now. Like, it just doesn't work like that. So...
Fuck, man.
But maybe he just communicates with the writers. Maybe he's in the future.
Yeah.
You know?
I just think maybe he's just a smart fucking guy, right? Like, you gotta look at, like, Trey Stone and Matt Parker for South Park. They're fucking brilliant writers.
Those guys are brilliant, yeah.
Brilliant, right?
Yeah.
Like, they just make fun of pop culture, and they think, what if the most extreme possibility could happen? And sure enough, our society and humans are fucked up enough that that's what happened.
Yeah, maybe
right?
it's actually a subconscious thing. Like they're just like trying to put it in, like,
and it's just like little hints.
And then the society just like wraps its head around it and just becomes what it is.
It
just happens.
Yeah, that very well could be it. Could just be coincidences, right? It's unlikely that it's coincidences. It's quite. And
there's a lot, and they're very.
There's
specific.
like over 30.
Yeah.
And they're very specific.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say that's a coincidence.
There was one for the pandemic and for like...
Really?
Yes, for like the killer bees too. Remember when that was a thing?
Oh yeah, I do
the
actually.
Murder Hornets? Yeah, the Murder Hornets. March in Chains was the episode.
Yeah.
It was like with the Murder Hornets and the pandemic.
Yeah.
All in one episode.
I know exactly.
All in one episode.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. That's such a spooky moment in that show.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, fuck. I don't know, guys. I mean...
What do you think? Comment down below. What do you think? Do you think time travel is possible? Do you think Matt Groening is a time traveler? And do you think he's up to something? I don't know.
Do you think he's shady?
Tell us.
I don't know.
I guess we'll never know. But hey,
maybe we'll.
It's just life. Well, maybe. I don't know. But anyways, thank you so much, Phill, for being on our show.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime. You're always welcome.
Oh.
This was awesome. I was really excited to meet you.
Yes.
We've never met before
this. Yeah, it's nice meeting you.
Yeah. And you're a rad dude.
Oh, right on. We'll get you on Bandecdotes as soon as possible.
Sounds good.
Right I know we're not in a band, but...
Doesn't matter. I break rules all the time.
Fuck it, right?
If anyone is interested in coming on the podcast, then I typically follow that interest.
Absolutely, yeah.
So we'll get you on right away.
We'll talk
Perfect.
music.
Yeah.
So follow Bandecdotes, YouTube, Instagram.
We'll link everything below so you can
Facebook.
know where to find Phill.
Follow Hellbent. Follow Sinner. Follow Druid. Follow it all. Give him the likes. Give this man the fucking credit he deserves.
Thank you. Oh, you're too kind. Thank you for having me, folks.
Of course. Anyway.
And today's band, we're gonna play.
Oh yes. His band. We are featuring his band.
Obviously.
Awesome.
Duh.
So you'll hear some songs from him. Which are you gonna? Do we have a specific?
Yeah, we have 2 songs. We have Buckley, and then we also have My Hits Don't Lie.
We're gonna play the 2 that we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
Awesome.
sounds good.
Sick.
So check it out.
Right on.
And on that note, let's boogie.
Catch you on the flip side.
Goodbye.
Take it easy.